Good evening everybody and welcome to the studio this evening. I can't actually decide what I want to do, to be honest. Really not sure. A couple of things come to mind, and one of them is to do a necklace to match that, or to sort of match that. And one of them is to do some beadwork, do some beading. As I have some nice coloured seed beads. For example, and I'm not actually sure what I want to do, which I do know one of the things I want to do is probably turn that music down, because it's kind of loud to me. Okay, I'll have to do it there. Dear. Right, and so tell you what I'd quite like to be able to do, and that is to be able to do some beading, but somebody promised to come on stream tonight and tell me a little bit about how to do a spiral, and I don't know if you can do it with seed beads. Although I do have a few delicate beads around here somewhere as well. Don't have a lot, but I do have some, which were left over from another project. And there must be another tube around here somewhere as well, because there were 3 colours involved. So the other colour was a purplish sort of colour. I actually, believe it or not, started tidying my desk up a little bit today. Because one of the things I was looking for is a flower that I'd done, and that's gone missing. It's somewhere on my desk, but I don't know where on my desk. Yeah, that's the 3rd colour. So I have delicas, I have seed beads, and I have chainmail. And I think what I might do is I might do some chain mail until, well, unless he pops up, and then we will try out some of the beading if so I'm just looking where I've got things on my desk like that. We'll do a little bit of the chain mail. I'm feeling a little bit sort of there today, so okay, so how many do I want? Well, I know I only want one, but what I mean is, how many rings do I need? Mm, 214. So that's about 107. It will be 107. So about 100 of each, because there are, you know what, I'm convinced there's 100 in there, which makes me wonder why there's 107. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. No, I'll tell you what, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32, 34, 36. Okay, so 100 could be right. Okay. So I won't open that unless I need to open it. Oh dear. Not very organised at all. I really am not very organised, which is kind of unusual for me. That's usually sort of something that I do quite a bit, is make sure everything is organised. 3/16, yeah. So I'm really out of each work stuff. That's just gets to me a little bit. So I don't know how many is in here. We'll tip the lot out. I did say the lot. That includes you too. Come on. Static electricity. Whilst they're not magnetic, they do stick by static electricity. So I need to count these. I want about 100 and about 100. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I'm just stopping because I'm going to change my glasses. Like that. Then I can see closer. Switch from sort of a variable focus lens to a reading lens, single vision lens. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, yeah, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100. I'll leave those to one side in case we need them. So, what was I doing? As I said, my brain is a little bit all over the place tonight. So I've got to close those. I think we'll close those. Yep. Okay. Which means pliers. Oh dear. I don't know what it is about this afternoon. My brain is this evening. It's just especially now. My brain has gone haywire. So I'll close these, then I'll get the other rings out, and we'll open the other rings. So I'm going to make a necklace somewhat like this. Instead of having a gold centre like this one has, I'm going to put a gold pendant on it. Make it a gold pendant like that. That's a duff ring. Don't get too many of those, but that ring is it's no good. It's not a full ring, so that goes in the bin. Don't get too many of those. It's very rare I find a bad ring, and that will be just the end of a run. So I suppose technically speaking, I've been shortchanged by a ring, but I know these things are done created by weight when you buy them, so it's quite likely you get extra. Actually, I suppose that's one thing I like to do. I do have a set of fairly accurate scales. I ought to perhaps, instead of counting these things out every time, actually just weigh the things. The scale will even actually count them for me if I tell it how much one weighs. Now then, I'm separating these out by hand, which can be a little bit frustrating at times. It won't quite go where you want it to go, but yeah. I might switch to beadwork in a while. Somebody did promise to come on stream tonight and teach me how to do a particular weave, so I had 4 rings here interwoven themselves, and no, there's 3 rings that have interwoven themselves. That's clever. They do it in such a way though that it's quite difficult to unweave them. There we go. So that's one of the unweaves. That's another. And that's the final one. No, Junior, please don't come over here tonight. He's probably going to completely ignore that, but maybe he'll sit on Lady's Arbor this evening. That would be nice of him, for all sorts of reasons. I really don't feel like a pussycat on my knee this evening. Maybe he'll settle on the computer at the end. I know you guys probably would prefer to see Junior, but it makes doing crafting a little bit hard when you're reaching across a cat onto the desk. That's not closed properly. That is. So not a particularly difficult weave tonight. Not even, well, I suppose the hardest part about this weave, which is a box weave to start with at least, is literally the first 6 rings. When you get the first 6 rings done, then it just gets progressively easier, unlike some of the other weaves. Talking of weaves, which is kind of a slight segue, because that's what we're doing with the rings. I'm just going to point out the coupon code at the bottom of the page if anybody is interested in some chain related jewellery. Like the one that you see on the desk here, which will be going into the shop later this evening after the stream, because I just photographed it tonight. Then there is that 30% off coupon there, just for a short period of time. I guess I'm feeling a little bit generous at the moment. That doesn't happen very often. Grab it while you can. Is that ring already closed? It is. That ring is closed so damn well I can't actually even feel, I think the join's there but I can't feel it. Maybe that was one I did before. But I am on yeah. I have a habit of wandering off frame as well, so if you see me doing that, just let me know. Now then, that one isn't quite closed properly, but it's almost. There we go. That one is. Yeah, then. Yeah, and if we start the beading, then the beads that I've got, well, some of the beads that I've got are there on the right hand side of the screen. Yes, it's your, yeah, your left. You're looking. Yeah, that confuses me. I normally have the camera the other way so that it looks like a mirror to me. So you look at, you're looking at, I'm looking at a screen which is feeding the image back at me. It's showing what's going out, and I normally have it set so it's like a mirror. So when I point that way, I see it pointing that way like a mirror. Only if I look now, I know it's going to point the opposite way, which is a little bit confusing. but I had a couple of people comment yesterday about that. I think the fact that it looked like I was working left-handed rather than right-handed was making them feel a little bit weird. See, all sorts of things you have to think about as a streamer. Well, a game streamer perhaps not, unless somebody, I guess, no, as a game streamer perhaps not, but as a creative streamer you have to think about how people think you're right or left-handed. And does it matter? Well, it kind of shouldn't matter, I guess, whether you're right or left-handed, but anyway. As a matter of, as whilst I'm talking, spouting forth, talking gibberish. I'm not quite talking gibberish, but I could get that way. What I was about to start and just describe was some of the things that you're seeing in the bottom left-hand side of the screen. They're photographs. That's obvious, isn't it? Kind of a bit silly to say they're photographs, but they're actually photographs of things which have been done on stream. Most of the photographs are for jewellery. The reason why most of the photographs are for jewellery is quicker to do. The other crafts which will pop up from time to time, not all of which I've photographed yet, but they take anything up to about 30 hours to do one item, one piece. In that 30 hours you can do about 30 items of jewellery. Hence there's more jewellery than there is other things. Generally I tend to like to try and get a lot equal time to each of the crafts and do them in turn. At the moment, however, that's a bit out the window, I'm afraid, basically for work reasons. I'm kind of more settled doing less stress at the moment by doing the jewellery, the chain work, than I am by trying to do something like carve with sharp chisels. Not necessarily a good thing to try and use if you're not feeling particularly calm. But some of the pictures on the left hand side, the jewellery, all stuff that's been done on stream, all of which you can buy examples of if you're interested in. That's what the coupon code is about, just down there. Take a look at Etsy and remember to subtract 30% for the moment anyway, which it is actually normally subtracted for you when you check out. But the other items that are there, you'll see some black and white or some black and white with green, which is scraper board. It's a lovely medium to work in. It's a technical bit about it is it's porcelain clay spread on the backing board and then covered in Indian ink. So it goes all black, but when you scratch it or scrape it, hence the name, you scrape away the black ink, leaving the white underneath. So you get a black and white image, a true monochrome image. And by shape, angle, quantity and depth of scrape, you get different shadings. And you can construct some very beautiful pictures out of it. It's great if you're interested in space images as well, because it's jet black, it's space black is the background, so you get some you can get some really interesting space pictures. And the green bit of one of them is you can apply dye. That was green dye when it pops up the picture, but to represent grass, and it has a startling effect on the image when you apply colour to it. Bubbles the monkey. What kind of stuff would you need to make starting? What kind of beading? I guess is the question, because there's quite a few. You were watching that fellow this afternoon. Sorry, if he's watching, I apologise. The name has gone completely out of my mind. He was doing things like peyote stitch. What I'd suggest, Bubbles the Monkey, is buy a kit. Something like one of the kits from Beadaholic. You can get them on Amazon, but they're shipped from the States, so be prepared to wait for a little bit. Something, well, have a look, the peyote stitch kits, which is what this is. And there are some other designs there. This is done using Delica beads, Mayuki Delica beads, which is a mouthful, but they're a Japanese glass bead and they're excellent for doing things like this with because of their shape. 11.0. Oh, you're on about the bead looms, aren't you? Yeah, that's right. I don't know bead looms. I've never done any bead looming because the thing about the bead looms, I suppose you could do it, but I have not. I looked at the bead looms, but you have lots of threads that come out the end, and you sort of tie them together. But a lot of the closings are they slide over there and sort of are clamped down, and I've just never tried it just yet. I kind of like the peyote stitch, so the bead loom stuff is parallel. Really quick to do though, but I'm afraid I don't know the answer to that. I don't know if there is a kit. I will tend to, when I'm trying something new like I did this, I tend to go for a kit just because they give you everything that you need, or at least, you know, you might not get pliers for example, but when I got that as a kit, I got the beads, I got the needle, I got the thread, everything kind of just came in the box, and you know you're not missing anything, and you generally got instructions to follow, so that you know that if something's gone wrong, it's not going wrong because you're missing something or something like that. It's gone wrong because you messed something up. Thread. Okay. I'm not experienced in this. Okay, at all. You can get monofilament. I'm not fantastically. I used to go fishing, so I've worked with monofilament in all sorts of sizes. I find it really springy. I'm not fantastically great for some of this, or I wouldn't find it fantastically great. And I did try some tubular weaving, kumihimo with monofilament. Yeah, didn't like it. What I have here, he says, wondering just where it is because I might need it shortly, is Fireline. There it is. It's slid away. Okay, bearing in mind I do not know what I'm talking about. That's what I've got. It's actually a fishing line, which means in this case Beadsmith are selling expensive fishing line, and it kind of is relatively expensive, because with a fishing line you'd be buying sort of 200-300 yards of the stuff, and it's a bit cheaper. But this is a braided, you won't see the thread. Well, actually you can see it better than I can. It's braided, it's not a single thread, it's about 7 or 8 threads braided together, and then there's like a coating over the top. It makes it really flexible, relatively strong and for the size, but I found this quite nice to work with. It doesn't, you know, you can bend it and it doesn't sort of really spring back much, and you can kink it and things like that. So I found that really nice thread, which is why I bought some more. That's what came in the kit. Well, not this, a different reel, but I found it really good. With you, so you've been practicing with your mini pearlers, yeah. Well, I'm only familiar with this stitch. This is the only stitch I've actually done. Okay, then this is peyote stitch. It's an even count peyote stitch, which I gather is the easiest one to do. but and like with the chain was hard to start. You know, chain work is a little bit hard to just start with your first few rings. This one was a little bit hard to start because you got to do your first 2 rows when you do peyote stitch are the kind of the hard bit. You've got to think about doing you've got to do the first 2 rows in 1 row, and then it's only when you put your 3rd row on does it start to make sense. But you've got to just get the right order. There's some really good instructions on for it on the internet, but there's some really nice videos for well, Beadaholic do some really nice videos about perla stitch. Oh dear. Peyote stitch. Actually showing you how to make this bracelet, for example, which I found quite clear to follow. So yeah, maybe have a look at those. But I can only talk about my experience of doing this. I'm afraid, whilst I might sound like an expert when I'm talking about it, yeah, that's only because I know a little bit more than the person that's asking, perhaps. But that's the limit of my expertise. The guy this afternoon certainly sounds like he knows one heck of a lot. I'm kind of just taking my time with these. Thank you. So, I know. Well, I was going to say I noticed your streaming the other day, Bubbles the Monkey, but I didn't actually get to look at your stream. You were you streaming your perla stuff again? And what's the latest project? Oh, that's quite alright. Half of what I'm doing is being happy to teach people if they want to know, or teach as much as I know. Which isn't always a great deal. Making a 3D ball. That's the guy. Good afternoon or good evening, Blightme. How are you doing? Right. I'm glad you popped in. Right. What I was going to do is, because I really wasn't that sure about what I wanted to do tonight. So I started doing this, but I did wonder about doing some beadwork, and you did suggest you might teach me how to do that spiral. But before I do that, you were interested in this. You still haven't slept. Oh dear. You seed beads. You doing deed see beads. That flexible enough, do you think? I do indeed see what you see. Yeah, all right. I give up. You win. Ah, dear. When I said I could, it felt like I could almost tie this in knots. So, you wanted to take a look? As far as I can tell you, because I don't know, it's just a standard even peyote count using delicate 11 no beads. So, hope you're able to determine what you know, because this is the one and only piece that I've done. I really enjoyed doing it. It took me a while, but I really enjoyed doing it. And then a sterling silver clasp on the end. And this was made as a present. Well, it was made for me to learn, but as a present for Lady Zara. And it just feels like cloth to me. Heavy cloth, but cloth. It looks so bad. It looks like I'm having a few problems with drop frames. Looks like I'm back. That is flat because you see the outside rows are just a little bit off. Okay. Yeah, that's possibly just me with tension though. Don't forget. First attempt. Oh, I mean you're the expert, but hopefully that doesn't look too bad for a first attempt. Do you want to try and teach? I mean, providing I can use seed beads. Well, I do have a few delicas, but I don't have a great deal. I don't know if there's enough there to do anything like a decent length, but I wouldn't mind learning how to do that rope spiral that you were demonstrating earlier today, if you are able to describe how to do it. If you look close, the outer rows will be a little bit left of centre. Not sure I understand unless you're talking about the clasping because of the up and down beads, but easy peasy. Alright, well, in that case, let me move some of my stuff to one side and move alright, that's 90. Let me just put the that ring doesn't belong in there. I don't know where that came from. Let me just put some of these rings away. I was going to make a box chain just in case you didn't turn up. So I just didn't want you to do that. I've lost a ring somewhere. Never mind. It'll be on the floor somewhere. I equals inner, O equals outer, 4 inner, 3 outer. Okay, your 3 outer I presume are the spiral colour. Can I see that one? Yes I can, I'll just pick it up whilst I remember. I'm a cheapskate, I don't like losing rings. So. No problem with 9/0 seed beads, I assume? Because it's just the technique more than anything, isn't it? So I've got some fire line. Let me get... I don't know. Let's have... about that much. And since I can't find a pair of scissors, I happen to have a scalpel to hand. There we go. BT's passed through, yeah. Beading needle. At least one thing about these beading needles, with the cross stitch needles, I have a favourite needle. I haven't got a favourite beading needle yet. Now then, given that I can hardly see this thing, this is going to be fun. I'll tell you what I'll do. Somebody suggested, and let's see if it works. Squeezing the end. And I'll try and put that through that needle again. It does. That's amazing. Right. That'll do. Okay, so let me open some of these. I don't know, what's a nice colour? Blue and gold. Let's have a few of these out. How do I open this? No idea. How do I open this? Is that? I hope this is resealable when I open it. Come on, how do you come open? Is it just pure? Yeah, it is, isn't it? Just pure tension. That'll do. Go on, back in the jar. Okay, well this is fire line, so it's braided rather than mono. But it's all I happen to have, so it will have to do. Actually, these holes look a bit large, but okay. So you suggesting what do I'll do the first of all. Let's just pick up one of these. Actually, what I should do is change colour completely. Let me use one of these. Just as a stopper. Okay, so 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3. It's not, it's braided. Alright, I'm convinced it's braided. Yeah. Braided bead thread. Okay. I liked using this. Well, we'll see. I mean, it's experimentation. It's all about it. But I liked this over I say when I was fishing, if this was monofilament, it would tend to be springing all over the place, and I always liked braided stuff then, because it were, you know, you could bend it and it wouldn't spring back and things like that. Pass through the 4 core beads. Okay, backwards you mean? As in that way to create a loop of these, or that way to create a bigger loop? Yeah, Crystal. Okay. So I have got some decent thread then. Right. So the question is which way to pass through the 4. I can pass through that way. I can pass through that way. On the back end. That way there. So pass back through the 4 the same way that I've just gone through them. Right. I'm trying to do this so you can see what I'm doing, but and now I can't actually get the needle through at all. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Yeah, I know that'll settle down later. Okay. So I suppose what I should do is, whilst I'm just waiting for chat to catch up, is let me just zoom that camera in a little bit better, so